Plaid at first looks like a lot of overlapping lines, but it's really just two sets of stripes crossing over each other. Once you see it that way, it takes about 5 minutes to make your own. Let me show you. I've created a new canvas in Procreate, and the dimensions are 3000 pixels by 3000 pixels and a DPI of 300. I'm first going to tap on my wrench icon and turn on my drawing guide. I'll need to edit my drawing guide, so I'll tap there. And at the bottom, I'll turn my grid size all the way up until it says max, which gives me one vertical guide in the middle and one horizontal guide in the middle. I'll tap the check mark to accept those changes. First, I'm going to create the background color for my plaid. So I'm going to come to my color panel and choose which color I might use. I think I might use this kind of off-white cream color. Once I have that color selected, I'll simply drag and drop that color onto my background. Now I'll add a new layer above this by tapping on the plus icon here. And the way we're going to create our stripes is by actually using the rectangular selection tool. And I'll show you how we can access that in a minute. First, I'm going to choose the color for my first stripe. So I'll open up my color panel and I might choose this lovely blue color here. Next, I'll tap on this little S icon at the top of the screen, and that's my selections window. When I do that, at the bottom you will see a little menu open up. I want to select the option that says rectangle. I also want to select this option at the bottom that says color fill. Now, wherever I want to place a stripe, I'm simply going to draw out a selection. And whilst you still keep your stylus on the screen, you can change the dimensions of this particular selection. Notice that I started outside the canvas and I ended outside the canvas. I did this on purpose so that I know that my entire stripe will be exactly on the canvas. When I let go, you'll notice that the color I selected in the top right circle will instantly fill this selection. That is because I had color fill selected. I'll tap off the selection tool to deselect that. I'll come back to my layers panel and I'll create a new layer. I'll repeat the same process. Tap on the selection tool, make sure rectangle is on and color fill is on, and I'm just going to choose another area of the canvas and create another selection. I'll make this one a little narrower this time and deselect. Come back and create a new layer. Tap on the selection tool and I'll create one more selection over here. I'll keep this fairly thin and deselect. Come back and create another layer. This time I'm going to change my color, so I might choose this red type color here. Make sure I'm on my new layer, tap on selection, and again I can place this anywhere on my canvas and adjust the size and deselect. I'm going to create one more layer. I generally find that having a set of 5 stripes is more than enough. Tap on my selection tool and I might create another thin one, maybe around about there, and let go. Great, so I have my initial stripes laid down. What I want to do now is actually go ahead and group all of these stripe layers together by tapping on this little blue circle here and selecting group. Now I'm simply going to swipe to the left and duplicate this group. I now want to rotate this group around, these stripes around, so that instead of going vertically, they'll be going horizontally. Making sure I have that duplicate group selected, I'll tap on my arrow tool, and at the bottom here, I'll simply tap rotate 45 degrees 2 times to make sure that my pattern has rotated around. Now, obviously, it's not in the center, so I can move it as much in the center as I can. And again, this doesn't need to be too accurate. That's the beauty of having stripes. And as you can see, sometimes Procreate plays around, can get really annoying, but I think that looks fine for me. I am going to zoom right in to make sure that it is right to the edge of the canvas, which it is. So I'm simply going to tap on the arrow tool to accept those changes and come back to my layers panel. I'm going to open up that top group that I just rotated. I'm going to select the bottom layer, and this is where you start seeing the magic happening with your pattern. I'm going to tap on the letter N here, and this opens up a menu that shows me all my different blending modes. And by scrolling up and down, you can see that layer that I've selected is changing in its appearance. The best one to choose, or one of the most popular ones to choose, is multiply. And you can see when I do that, how the color of that layer I have selected interacts with the colors of the layers below it and produces these really great effects. And this is how you can start to achieve those overlapping stripe effects of a plaid pattern. If I tap on that M again, at the top here you see opacity. So if I slide this to the left and to the right, you can see the opacity of that particular layer changing. And this also helps to introduce a lot of different kind of effects to your plaid pattern. I'm probably going to leave it at around 70%. Now, if you're finding when you slide your slider left and right that the numbers change really quickly, there's an easy way to make them change slowly. If I hold my pencil right next to the slider, my movements are really quick. But if I keep my pencil on the screen and I drag it away from the slider, and now I start to move left and right, you can see that that slider starts to move a lot slower. So it's much easier to reach the exact number that you really are after. And I'm going to go for 70%. There you go. So I think that's looking great. I might come up to this next layer here, tap on the N, change it to multiply, and again, reduce the opacity to around 70%. Another trick you can use is actually to color these stripes the same color as your background. Now you think maybe it'll disappear, but because we have the multiply blending mode, it will actually change the appearance, and I'll demonstrate that to you now. So I'll come back and I'll select my background layer. I'll select this stripe at the bottom. Now, in order for me to change the color from blue to this cream color, I simply need to tap once on that layer thumbnail and choose Alpha Lock. And what Alpha Lock does is it only selects the colored pixels on that layer. So it has now only selected those blue colored pixels on that particular layer. How do I get that cream color onto that blue color? I tap again on the thumbnail and I choose Fill Layer. And now you can see that that cream color is now filling where that blue color was. And because I have multiply blend mode selected, you can see how it's made it a little bit darker so you can still see it against your background color. And I kind of like how that looks. I might do that again to this blue layer here. So I'll tap once on it. I'll tap again and choose Alpha Lock, making sure I have that color in the top right circle. I'll tap once again and I'll choose Fill Layer. And I really like how that is interacting with the stripes underneath as well as the background. I'll come up to that next blue stripe and I'll change its blending mode to multiply and reduce the opacity to around 70%. So let's do the same with the red stripes. Change the blending mode to multiply, and maybe we can reduce the opacity of these as well, maybe to around 80%. I think that looks great. We'll do it with the last red layer, so change the blending mode to multiply and reduce the opacity to around 80%. So this is how our plaid is starting to take shape. So this is basically our repeat tile. But of course, we need to test this. So I'm going to tap on my background layer to select it and swipe to the right on the other layers to select them as well. then tap on this little blue circle and choose Group. So this is basically my original layer, and I don't want to make any changes to it. So I'll swipe to the left on that group to make a copy of it, and I'll actually hide my original group to prevent me from making any mistakes with that. I want to now merge and collapse all of these layers just onto the one layer. I simply need to tap once on that layer thumbnail and choose Flatten. So that has now taken all those layers and merged them onto the one layer. You can see if I hide it, they're all on one layer. Now I'll swipe to the left on that and I'll create 4 more copies of this layer and turn off the bottom one. Again, that's going to be my original that I'd like to keep. With the 4 copies, I'm going to select all of those copies and I want to reduce them down to the size of one of these quadrants on my canvas. So then I can start repeating it around my canvas to check to see if my pattern is working correctly. I'll tap on my arrow tool, and you can see when I do that, Procreate has selected the entire canvas and also placed these blue circles around the edges of the canvas. These are called nodes, and if, for example, I tap on one in the top left corner, that brings up my dimensions window. This tells me the current dimensions of the canvas. Currently it's set at 3000 pixels wide, 3000 pixels high. In between them you see a blue chain icon. Because it's highlighted in blue, it's telling me that both dimensions are linked. So if I make a change to one dimension, the other dimension will change accordingly. In order to scale these squares down so that they correctly fit into the size of the top left quadrant, I just need to halve the number that is showing there in the dimensions window. So half of 3000 is 1500. So I simply tap in 1500 and you'll see Procreate will instantly scale all of those copies down to fit exactly into that top left quadrant. I'll tap on the screen to get rid of that dimensions window, and I'll tap on the arrow icon to deselect it. Now I want to tile these all the way around the canvas, so I'll come back to my layers. I'll tap and select the bottom layer, tap on my arrow tool, make sure that snapping and magnetics are turned on and distance and velocity are set to max, and I'll simply drag across until one square snaps to the right edge of the canvas, and then drag down until it snaps to the bottom edge of the canvas and deselect. I'll come back to the layers and select the next layer. This time I'm simply going to drag it all the way over until it snaps to the right of the canvas and deselect. Select the next layer, and this time I'll simply drag down until it snaps to the bottom and deselect. So this is now my plaid pattern repeated out. I need to zoom right in to check along the vertical seam and the horizontal seam to see that everything is matched up and that there are no gaps. So I'm going to zoom all the way in, and hopefully you can see this on screen, but this is where my vertical seam is. So I'm simply going to scroll up and down to see that everything aligns and that there are none of those nasty white seams, those gaps, which can, as you know, ruin any pattern. And I think we're looking okay. That's great. So I didn't find any mistakes there. So let's zoom in along the horizontal. Whoops, we don't want to do that. Let's zoom in along the horizontal guide and check. So we're just scrolling from right to left or left to right, whichever you prefer, and just making sure that everything lines up perfectly. And it does. So that is now our plaid pattern. So we can actually scale this down even further. So we'll just come to our layers panel and we'll merge all of those layers together by pinching the layers together, and then we simply repeat the process. So that is how you create your basic pattern. In the beginning, I'd suggest you don't use too many colors. I've really only used 3 colors, a pink for the background, a red and a blue. But because we changed those top layers to the multiply blend mode, you can achieve all these other amazing colors. So just to show you some kind of colorways that you could experiment with, I've gone ahead and taken that exact same pattern and I've recolored it in different colorways that you can see here. And you can notice that just by changing the colors, you can change the complete look and feel of the pattern. If you want to learn more about different pattern layouts, then these videos will explain more about that. Just remember, have fun and don't sweat the pixels. I'll catch you on the next one.